All right, so this is a video that I had to do before I saw Wonder Woman. All right, my top 5 superhero origin movies. I think there is. I'm talking a lot about the movie before I see it, but you know, there's a good chance that this could get in there into my top 5. So before I see it, I want to make sure that all 5 of these movies get the proper recognition. Cause I love all 5 of these movies. I could probably do a top 10, but I feel like number 6 is real. It's a gap between number 6 and number 5. Like these top 5 are solid. All right, let's hurry up and get into this so I can go see this movie. You know, in true Roddy Rod fashion. Procrastination is a motherfucker. Let's go. Number 5 is a movie that's probably going to be on the top of most people's list, and I know it's going to cause some people get mad, some backlash, some controversy, all that mess, you know, that y'all do on YouTube. But my number 5 pick is, I actually have the whole trilogy, Batman Begins. Batman Begins. Okay, so the thing about these superhero origins is they usually have 2 parts: the origin part and the finale. You know, the superhero is a superhero now action part. All right, and the problem is usually one half is so much better than the other half, and that's definitely something with the Batman Begins, because I love the first half so much. It's fucking epic. All that fight with Liam Neeson. All that when he finally becomes Batman and he says, "I'm Batman," all that, man, I love it. The second part, well, it's still good. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna turn it off after that, but it definitely doesn't match up to the first part for me. I've heard other people say that. Like, most times I watch these movies in 3. I watch this whole trilogy, and after he says, "I'm Batman," you know, give or take 10, 15 minutes after that, I'm ready to put in The Dark Knight. All right, I'm ready for the Joker now. Like, you know, that's not to take anything away from the end of this movie, but it's just not as strong as the beginning of the movie. And you know, maybe that's just the thing, is getting was so fucking epic that the ending just didn't match up, and that's why it falls lower on my list. Another movie that has the same problem is Iron Man. The first Iron Man, the first movie, got the price tag on here and shit. The first movie in the MCU. Yeah, the beginning with him in the cave and all that, he gets a suit, and then of course all the way up to him actually finishing the suit and the tank missile, all that, man. Love it, love it, love it. That's why it's still the best Iron Man movie, like by far, out here. But after that, it's like, okay, the fight isn't even that memorable. But luckily, I guess this movie is shorter than Batman Begins. So man, that's a takeaway from it. And plus, I'm so like, these movies are like so close, they're neck and neck. But the thing is, I'm a huge Batman fan. He's number 1. All right, I know this. I know I'm biased towards Batman. I even liked the Joe Schumacher ones when I was a kid, you know. So like, if it's Batman, I'm probably gonna love it. It's why I went to see Lego Batman, even though I said I wasn't. It's Batman. So I know that if there's a movie that I feel almost as good as a Batman movie, I'm thinking, all right, which one's better? Is it the Batman movie or the other one? It's probably the other one, because I know I'm biased towards Batman. So, like, Iron Man had more of an upscale climb. Even though we talk about Batman fell from grace, Iron Man never had any grace to fall from. You know, like, he had a bigger climb, more upscale climb than Batman did. And that's why I gotta say Iron Man slightly ahead of Batman Begins on my list. Now, coming in number 3 is one that a lot of people definitely are going to agree with, but I agree with it as soon as I saw the movie, maybe the 3rd time in theaters, and that is Doctor Strange. All right, this is one of the MCU's best. as an origin story, for me, it does everything right. All right, it doesn't hold on. I know it's a pretty short movie actually compared to other movies. I believe it's like an hour, less than an hour and 50 minutes. Like it gets, some people were complaining about the origin part was too short. I felt like it was perfect. All right, and I understand that this movie it cheats with me because it has two big things that I love. First of all, his love for music. Music, what the fuck? First of all, his love for music in the beginning when he's basically going off the iPod. It's funny because I knew the song and I'm sitting there saying what he's saying. Like, no, it came out in December of the year. Like that off rip, immediately I fell in love with the character. And then of course it has, if you know me, I'm gonna talk about superpowers. Time control is number one. I love time control, from Quantum Leap to Bill and Ted to Back to the Future to Terminator to Days of Future Past to this. Alright, so it has those two things that I love. And as I was loving everything about it, we get into the third act. Of course, I'm like, okay, here we go, an origin story. What's it gonna do? And my God, it had to have like the most creative way to beat the bad guy ever, man. I love the ending of this movie. I love the beginning of this movie. I love the middle of this movie. And I love this movie. So, for me, I always say, yeah, that's like the best MCU origin story. So, that means it's a hit Iron Man. Alright. Number 3, Doctor Strange. Number 2. These first two actually, they kind of cheated. Number 2, it wasn't the first movie in the series, in the universe, but this is the origin. It's the prequel, X-Men First Class. And this was a movie that I didn't even see in theaters. Like 2011, I was working 2 jobs, all right? So I ain't seen nothing in theaters, all right? My homeboy had to tell me about this movie, and he said, watch First Class. This shit is a great fucking movie. And I watch it, and it made me care about characters I was never too excited about. Like, you're talking about X-Men, you're talking about Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Iceman, Rogue, even Gambit. Like, those were like my favorite X-Men growing up. I never really cared for Professor X because he was like Master Splinter, you know. He was just there to spread wisdom, but he wasn't like a character that I would love, you know, as far as like the action and stuff. This movie made me care so much about not only Professor X, but Magneto. I feel like James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender just revived this universe for me so much, man. I think they're the best actors in the universe the X-Men has. Hugh Jackman has been doing this damn thing. He's a great actor. But James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender are here for me, man. I fucking love this movie. I saw it again recently. Like, I'm watching, okay, is it really that good? I have to keep watching these movies, and it's like, yeah, it's really that fucking good, man. Yeah, I love the story. I love it. It was my favorite X-Men movie until that point, and it's still top 3 X-Men movies for me, man. Like, yeah. And coming in at number 1, funny enough, is a newer superhero movie. I guess you could say it's cheating because y'all like to say he's not really a superhero, I understand, but hey, man, ain't no anti-hero genre in this, alright? Number 1, Deadpool. It got to number 1. It fucking killed me. Everything I said at the beginning of this video, how there's 2 sides to the origin story, the beginning origin and then the end of the action, it totally killed that shit because it had the action in the beginning and then the origin story was through flashbacks. And only Deadpool can pull off a movie like that because of his ability to break the fourth wall. It was fucking genius. As I'm watching, I'm like, you fucking genius, man. I can't believe y'all did this. Like, no, I had no worries watching it because I'm like, okay, they completely stopped my worries. Everything's great, all right? And there's so much humor in it Of course, like I say, it's such a different movie than the rest of these movies. I understand. You know, Dark Knight is crime drama. You know, Iron Man series. You know, there's so much. I think everybody died. I think somebody dies in each one of these movies. Like, I mean, like somebody like you don't want to die, maybe not Iron Man, but the rest of these movies, like somebody dies, and if important in these movies, you know, they're so like kind of more serious than the Deadpool movie. But when I watch it, I'm like, you can't fucking knock this movie. You can't say that there's anything that they could have did different. I can't say anyway. I'm like, they can't. They knocked out the park. Motherfucking Deadpool. They made it work. It stands on its own. And as an origin movie, superhero origin story movie, it's one that I sit back and I just watch the whole thing. I can't skip a scene because they've woven both sides of the origin into one so perfectly for me. And I have to say, it is the best superhero origin movie I've ever seen. So, the question is, where does Wonder Woman fit in? And I will see within the hour. Well, not the hour, because the movie starts within the hour, but it takes like 2 hours and change to be over. So I will see in a few hours. Maybe I'll come back. Thing is, man, my lists are always changing. I literally sat here. I had the whole week off of work. I literally sat here and watched the entire MCU, a few X-Men movies, like, ready to do these other lists. Like, I watch these movies over and over again. I'm not the type of person that watch the movie. I'm not a critic where I watch it and dissect it and then say, well, that's it. I know how I feel about it, and that's it. You know, I go back and I watch stuff over again. Stuff I didn't like, I give another chance. Maybe it grew on me. You know, maybe it'd be worse. That has happened. That's the type of movie watcher I am, which is why I don't try to watch a whole lot of movies. I just stick to my favorites. And superhero movies are my favorites. Let me know your list in the comment section. Top 5, top 10, whatever you want to do. Let me know your favorite superhero origin movies, and be prepared for that Wonder Woman review, baby. It's time. Big business. I holla.